Alright, time has finally come. First, let's start off with the drink from Anchorage Brewing Company. This one's called Bite. It's a triple IPA. Just look at this fucking artwork. Yo. That fucking guy looks a little angry. So let's go ahead and crack it. Get some, ooh, that smells good. That's pretty damn good. I wonder how much alcohol is on that. 9.5. I was gonna say, it's almost like you could like feel that there's that much alcohol in it. It's just barely perceivable, but it's real just fruit smoothie in the chops. It's kind of chewy, like they say sometimes. What are we using today? Declaration Grooming / Chatillon Lux Unconditional Surrender. I actually bought this set off Jack. He was offloading a bunch of stuff because he's moving. He's moving up north, closer to me, within driving distance actually. So Jack from the Virtual Groomroom, thanks for selling this off to me, and thanks for the extras that you threw in as well, buddy. We haven't talked as much lately, but definitely I hope everything's going well with you down there, and I hope the move is smooth. But this is what we're using today. I actually, out of Chatillon Lux's sample scents that I bought last month, Unconditional Surrender was actually my number 2. You could tell it has Jack's cootie still on it, but he attempted to clean it off, so I appreciate that. And really, I mean, it just honestly doesn't bother me that much. It's soap at the end of the day. I have some loaded up into the Lancaster bowl. We're going to use the matching post-shave toner that I also bought from Jack. We're going to bust out the Goldedge with the leather sheath that Frank from Strike Gold Shave supplied to me. And there it is, that double duck Goldedge right there. Great looking razor. It has that Frank Misa edge on it. I have no idea what he uses. I'm sure he would gladly tell you if you inquired about it. So that's what we'll be using. The real star of the show is my Viking soaps and brushes shave brush handle that I showcased to you guys without a knot, but now I have a knot in it, and I'm just wringing out the water so you guys can see this beauty in all its glory. I think that thing is just gorgeous. I don't know about you guys. I have no idea how this stayed on his shop and got to the reduced price point. Very basic handle, but or a coin, but really it's kind of like it fits the theme, the Viking theme. And so he shipped it without a coin. He was going through some newborn baby stuff. I inquired about it, and he sent me a coin ASAP. I mean, it was there 2 days later. And so I pressed it in there just to make sure it fit properly. And I bought glue and everything, and I pressed it in there, and it fit so snug that's in there with no glue. So I don't know if it ever pops out, I'll glue it in. But and then this right here. This right here is the Strike Gold Shave hand-tied 28 millimeter, well, 28 and some change, because Frank said it was a little bit larger, so it's 28 and some change, hand-tied Hair Force, well, I guess it's not a Hair Force one, I don't know what he calls these, hand-tied Strike Gold Shave knot, so Badger, so that's what we're using right now. Let's get with it, share some first impressions. This is fucking exciting. This is three very exciting shaves in a row. except for the first one out of the 3, I was a dumbass and deleted the video. So, it is what it is. And so this is looking to be very pasty. Very, very pasty. So, the handle is very light, I've noticed. It's very light compared to some of my other brushes that feel like more substantial. So that's what's happening right now. It looks like it's just getting smeared on the walls more or less. So I'm going to drip a little bit of water into it, see if we can get some action happening. Alright, I'm seeing some lather. I was honestly starting to worry there for a second. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I know I didn't put like heaps of product, but I was definitely looking at it like there should be more lather by now. So, just needed to add a little water. This, of course, is in the Milksteak soap base. The scent strength. It's right around medium. Maybe it's about 5.5. This is looking really strange. It's not looking like it's getting fully incorporated yet, which is worrisome. Because when I use Nightman, I know this is my only second use with Milksteak. Or maybe is it my third, because I think Corey sent me a sample as well. I think they lathered up way easier than this, so this is concerning. I wonder if this is going to be like a lather hug. Very concerning. It's not that there's not lather. It's kind of worrisome that there's not more lather. I mean, I didn't, overload it or anything, but I definitely didn't think that I underloaded it. So, one thing I noticed kind of different between this soap, the Unconditional Surrender, and my Nightman, I noticed that the soap on Unconditional Surrender, there's a hair. I noticed the soap on Unconditional Surrender seemed a little bit more firm, but they're both Milksteak base. So I don't know if just the process of Jack leaving it out to dry after a shave maybe hardened it ever so slightly. I'm unsure. Just an observation. Doesn't necessarily mean anything. So here we go. That's what we're working with. It doesn't particularly look like a whole hell of a lot. So, I don't know what's going on, guys. But these are honest impressions here, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. We'll try again with a different soap next time. And honestly, as I attempt to build it, it just seems to be disappearing. So, very curious. And I almost don't know what to do now. I could shave with this, I'm positive. But it's so thin that you can't even see it. And this is the rest of the bowl here. Like, it's not like I have a lot of reserves to draw from. I don't know. It went from a really high to a really low. Yesterday with the Honest Abe was really high. But this, it almost seems like either the Declaration Grooming soap isn't working up to snuff, which I haven't tried this particular soap with a different brush. It's either that's not working up to snuff, or this is like a major soap eater because I just took everything out of the bowl, and it's like, this is where we're at, guys. I don't know what the fuck to do. Do I like cut the video and start over? Here's what we're gonna do. Jack already lathered out of this bowl, so we're gonna do a bowl lather. I'm gonna say screw the distilled water, and we're going in. We're going straight into the puck and see if we can't make some shit happen here. If this thing's a lather hog, then we are gonna overload it with some fucking lather. And we're gonna make something out of this. Because I'll be damned if I started this video, use my precious storage space for nothing. So, you guys want to hear a Shave Degenerate joke? Cut the tension. So I wrote it down here. So it says, you know you're such a shaving degenerate when your calendar has more soap releases on it than birthdays or paydays. That's when you know you've done fucked up. That's when you know you're in deep. So I'm going to reapply some water here. We're going to try to face lather this because that just did not work out. And like I said, I don't know if it was the soap or the brush, but we're going to figure this problem out one way or another. Maybe I didn't load enough either. Maybe it was me. It seemed, you know, I just eyeball it when I'm scooping into my little sample spoon. I just eyeball it. Sometimes it's a little more, sometimes it's a little less. But normally it gets the job done. And this is looking more like it. Feeling pasty. I think we can build on this. Woo, excuse me, just had some tacos. Alright, so what I do, I'm going to just dip it in my sink of water. No longer using distilled water. We made the transition to my tap water. So, as far as the brush goes, the knot, anyhow, the brush handle is very comfortable. I kind of like these tall and skinny knots. I haven't really had a handle design that I think is uncomfortable. So the handle design is perfectly fine with me. I think it feels good. Now we're getting somewhere. I don't know. Just the bowl lathering just didn't work this time. Just didn't have enough product in there, I guess. So the knot feels soft, but it feels like there's some not soft as well. It's like kind of like a little bit. It's like soft and plushy, but then when you scrub, it's like there's that nice gentle scrub that I like about it, but then there's also a more prickly feel with that gentle scrub. So it's almost like there's some super soft tips mixed in with some not as soft tips. And I gotta say, I would rather not have those prickly tips. Just being honest, I would rather not have those prickly tips. I would rather it all be that gentle scrub. I don't need the gel super duper uber gel tips, but it would be nice to have some soft tips with that gentle scrub and a little bit of backbone, you know what I mean? Okay, I think we finally got it after 15 minutes. The scent on this one's fantastic. It's my second favorite Chatillon Lux, only behind Admiral, which I feel like the community must have slept on. Because the owner of Chatillon Lux told me the release didn't go so well when he released it, at least with the wet shaving community. So Admiral probably won't be getting brought back anytime soon. But Admiral is my favorite. This is a tea scent. I find it to be a sophisticated scent. I feel like it is a masculine accord. It has like a mature vibe about it. And that doesn't always click with me, but with this one I like it. Alright. So we got a nice looking lather now. It definitely worked. The edge on this thing is still holding up. Definitely cutting hair. Yeah, it's a little bit of a bummer. It's like the hand-tied knot has a bit of the aspects that I really like. And then, but there's that kind of like, it doesn't feel like it's full of prickly hairs, but it feels like there's prickly hairs in there. And so it keeps it from being entirely enjoyable. And you know what I just noticed? I just did what I did when I first got straight razors, and I went completely against the grain on the first pass. Alright, let's just feel around and see what the hell let's see what we did. I only had a day's growth. Up here I went with the grain. But down here I went against the grain, not thinking. You know what I was thinking while I was shaving was, how could I be like Dave Card and continue instead of like taking the lather off of my blade, just continue with the shave? And so that's what was in my mind. And so what I ended up doing was just going from here down, 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 but it's with the grain on the sideburns and against the grain on my neck. So I kind of blew it with my execution. My head was in the right place. My thoughts were in the right place, but the execution, I blew it. Alright, let's get this slickness off our hands. We'll lather up for pass 2. And I don't really know how much of a pass 2 there's going to be, but all I need is a thin layer anyhow. I'm going to have to try this with another soap. And I'm going to have to try this, or I'm going to have to try the soap with another brush, and I'm going to have to try the brush with a different soap, just to see if one or the other was clearly the issue, because I'm using both of these products for the first time. Alright. But as you can see, it's like I'm just not getting enough product. So it's very possible that the brush is a lather hog, and it's very possible that I'm just not familiar with the soap base yet either. So all right. It's definitely slick though, even though it's a little bit thin, washed out. I'm doing kind of some of those rookie mistakes now. I think I'm flustered because the shit just didn't work out like I, planned. Oh, shit, I think I even... Oh, maybe I just nicked a pimple or something. Yeah. I think I'm just a little bit flustered because it didn't, things weren't as enjoyable as I was expecting them to be. I was really looking forward to this shave and something has went awry. All right. So the soap is definitely slick even in its thinned out state. Kind of sucks, you don't like, this would be a good time to talk about. I don't think any of us YouTubers or, kind of Instagram personalities, I don't think most of us ever want to bash an item. At least some of us aren't afraid to do it, but we don't, we're not chomping at the bit to slam someone who's put their heart and soul into a release or a product. But you have to call it like it is. You have to be honest with your viewers because your word might lead to their purchase, and that purchase might be, misguided. And in turn, your dishonesty could bite you in the ass. Because they don't trust you anymore. They don't follow you anymore. They don't want you anymore. All of a sudden, you're just shooting these videos for yourself. So you got to call it like it is. I have no ill will towards Declaration or Frank, but something went wrong. It was either the soap, or the brush, or it was me. And that's just the way it is. You know what I mean? I am, I talk to Frank on a somewhat basis, and I really trust his opinions on straight razors and things. And I'm a real big fan of Strike Gold Shave and their product line. But when something goes wrong, I'm not afraid to say that something went wrong. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying that it's the brush's issue just yet because I'm honestly unsure. But if it happens over and over, and I determine that it's the brush, I will say so. You know what I mean? And then the ball's in Frank's court to see what he wants to do. So, alright. This one obviously is going to go on a little bit longer than intended, seeing as I had to do a second lather from scratch, basically. Get this off the face as quick as I can. Yeah, it's never fun. Never fun, at least not for me. I don't look forward to downing people's products when they underperform. I'm not chomping at the bit to do it, but you know, it has to be said that there is a possibility that that new knot of mine is a lather hog. And I mean, natural hairs, it's not, you know, abnormal for natural hair brushes to be lather hogs, but at the same time, that one kind of ate the shit out of every bit of soap that was in my lather bowl and left almost nothing for me to perform, you know, a shave with. I could have probably snuck by with my first pass, but definitely there wouldn't have been shit to shave with on the second pass. So I think that's pretty undeniable from what I showed you guys. Alright, let's get this post-shave toner on and we'll cut it off. Oh, I hate to do it, but you gotta do it. It's very possible that it's that knot, Frank. I'm gonna contact you after the video. Just a little bit of the post-shave toner. Let's see how far it goes. Oh, that smells great. It feels great on the skin. I think I might need a touch more. It's very possible, you know, that I'm just inexperienced with the soap base, but my first two uses, they went really well, and I was impressed by the soap base. So my heart is kind of leaning that it's the knot, the hand-tied knot, that's the issue in this case. But I'll give it a few more uses and we'll determine for sure if that's the case. I did make a fairly good lather on that first go after I did the puck lather there, the face lather. But then, you know, the second lather, there really wasn't much left. So I think it might just be a lather hog. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and end it kind of on a little bit of a bitter note. Beautiful brush. Beautiful knot. Something went wrong. Anyhow, guys, sorry for the long video. I didn't see this coming. But cheers. I'm going to need this. That was so disappointing.